Just love that song. Hey everybody, Ron Onesti here from Rock and Roll Heaven here in St. Charles, just outside of Chicago at the Arcada Theater. Hanging and banging with you tonight as we do every Thursday, episode number 47, which, who said it wouldn't work out? We are approaching 1 year long of this great Artists on Lockdown show, and every week I get the honor and privilege to be with two legends and icons of rock and roll. I'm going to bring the first one on right now to help me welcome our guest tonight, Mark Hudson. My goodness, producer, performer extraordinaire, and guys from the band Dirty Honey, which is an amazing band, amazing rock band, relatively new, been around for a couple, 2, 3, 4 years. Love to talk to them. We've got with us. We've got John Otto and Corey Coverstone coming up in just a moment. But first, let's bring him. You know him from Dio, from Last in Line, and of course, Black Sabbath. Where you at, Vinny? There, he does this to me. You're busting my onions again, Vincenzo.
Oh my God!
Why are you covering your shirt? What do you got on there this week?
I got a picture of you on this shirt.
No.
I saw the shirt, and that's wrong.
I didn't wear my rock stuff tonight, so you got to make up for me. What is it? Oh, that looks just like me.
It looks just like you. When you turn to the side, it looks just like you.
The nose, you're right.
Actually, somebody asked me, too. Is that guy on that show, the host?
That guy. It does. That looks like Peter Gabriel from, Musical Box. From his...
It's from this guy, the vampire.
Oh, Nosferatu. My gosh, that's a classic 1930s movie.
I got this shirt in South America on the street. Somebody was selling it. I went, oh, that's cool, man. But I think I should have got one size larger. It's kind of... snug.
Oh, you're looking good. Yeah, it's because the shirt's too small. It's not because of the rigatoni you've been having for the last year.
With regatta.
Regatta. Let's bring our older brother. Our elder brother.
He's got a new look.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid, I'll be honest with you, because I love this old look. I love the purple hair, or you never know what you get every week. But let's see, we almost need a drum roll to bring, you know him from Vanilla Fudge, Rod Stewart, Jeff Beck, and a host of other projects. Are you going to do a drum roll or no?
Hang on.
All right,
no, then I can't hear you.
Well, all right.
I can't reach.
Okay. There he is! Carmine of Peace!
And my new look.
Everybody's ears out.
I stopped dyeing my hair, but I will have purple and black in it next week.
But I gotta say though, it looks. It's probably the nicely combed you've ever had it.
I'm not combed. See, I just do this and that's it.
Well, no, now it's not.
No, that's what it does.
So you're like, hey, you know what? It worked for Bob Barker. It's gonna work for me. I think that's where you went with this whole thing.
No, right now it's in transition.
You look like you're in. Isn't that the drummer from the Police?
Yeah.
No, I think that's what was her name? Come
on, keep it coming.
No, I know.
Hey, let me tell you something. I put this on Facebook. I got 3,500 comments.
Yeah, we're not gonna say what they were.
All positive. They were all positive.
Yeah, you positively look 20 years older. Positively.
The thing is, they're not going to say, yeah, it looks, really.
Oh, no, there was a few that did say that.
Well, listen.
I'm tired of doing that. What I'm doing now, it's going to be every 4 to 6 months I can go in and take care of the dye instead of every 4 weeks.
What about you, Ron?
Well, the transition worked well for Caitlyn Jenner, so I think I see where you're going here.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe I'll be governor.
And me, it's not about the color. I don't care what. It could be pink, purple, whatever, as long as it stays up there. Right now,
yeah, see, I can do that look too.
I can show a movie on my forehead. Yeah. Actually, it's not even falling out. It's just sliding to the back. So what's happening?
Well, I had a picture. I got a picture of me like that, sliding to the back. Hold on, let me see if I get it up here and show it to you.
You guys get it up.
This is my mafia. Too. My phone's off.
Yes.
This is my mafia look.
Let me turn mine off.
You see that?
Oh, that's scary. Holy cow.
That's my mafia look.
Were you on Boardwalk Empire or The Sopranos?
I don't know. I should be on one of them, though.
You look good.
All right.
Did you have a wake to go to, or what was that?
No, that's the same. I just put it back and put some dippity-doo in it.
Dippity-doo.
Yeah.
Dippity-doo.
Dippity-doo.
I love that pink gel that all our aunts had on the dresser. You didn't know what they were doing. You didn't know what they were dippity-dooing with it, and I just left it alone.
Yeah. Well, now in the morning I wake up and I don't have to. I take a shower. I just let it dry. With the hair dryer, I don't have to do anything to it. And then I just mess it up. And it looks good.
Nowadays, you know what they do with dippity.
Yeah. They dippity do it.
Right?
They dippity do it.
Listen, we could talk about dippity do for hours. But what I'd rather do, we've got some great guests. Last week's show, Rick Derringer, Weird Al, holy smokes. It was a great show. We had a lot of fun. We laughed the whole time. Tonight's show, it's just like every other one, man. Just, again, heroes and legends. We've got the great Mark Hudson with us. Before we bring Mark to our show, I want to talk to these guys because I am so excited about this band. I'll be honest, I just stumbled on them just a few months ago, and they're called Dirty Honey. And I'm telling you, if you haven't heard them yet, you're just get ready, get their autograph now because it's going to be worth a whole lot very, very soon. Let's bring them, John Otto and Corey Coverstone from Dirty Honey.
Hey, where are they?
There they are.
They're doing the Vinny.
Yeah.
They left.
What's up, guys?
First of all, where are you guys?
We are in Encino.
Nice.
Ronnie used to live there.
Yeah.
I've had the same accountant, so turn up your volume a bit.
Yeah,
you guys are low.
How's that? Check. Better?
As much as you can.
Even more.
Okay, how's that?
Much better.
There we go.
Very
I need more guitar. Bring the guitar.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Can you turn up the
more cowbell?
Let's put up Corey to 11. Anyway, so good to see you guys, man. And I tell you what, you really, I know you've been around for a while. I think you've been on the mainstream about 4 years or so, and probably were together a little bit before then. That had COVID sucks for everybody, but you guys were rocking and rolling, and all of a sudden COVID hits. Yeah. It put you back about a step, didn't it?
It sure did.
Well, what have you guys been doing? Are you ready with some new material? Are you going to hit it hard really soon with the touring?
Yeah, there's plans for June and also July into September. They're not announced yet, so we can't really say, but it's looking pretty good. And we just dropped our second, I guess it's our first full length, but we dropped our LP on the 23rd. And we have a single out right now on mainstream rock radio called California Dreamin'.
I love California Dreamin', by the way.
Thank you very much.
It's amazing how you think, guys our age, we're thinking mamas and the papas, and then all of a sudden, we hear your version. It's totally different. Don't get me wrong. It's your California Dreamin'. But, man, it's
a different song.
It's a totally different song. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got to say that.
As I said, it's totally different, but it is really, really, it's going to go places, I'm telling you, because it really hits a mainstream rock feel. I love it.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, we worked hard. It was actually the last song to come to fruition, actually, for the record, and it was the first single.
It's always something like that, right? That's how it works. It's always.
You guys are on a label now, or are you still on your own thing?
No, we're still out there on our own, baby.
That's amazing. Amazing that you guys pulled that off.
And that's the way it works these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot less pressure.
Was that the plan? Was that the plan, or was it just nobody bid on it, so you just said, screw it, we'll do it ourselves?
Yeah, it was a bit of both. We shopped around in the beginning. Our manager's been in the game since the early '80s.
Right.
He actually started as a radio DJ. Then he went to record promotion. Then
who was that? What's his name?
His name's Mark Didia.
Oh, I know Mark Didia.
Yeah.
Wasn't he with Geffen?
He was with Geffen, yeah. Like his initial job there, the first assignment was to promote "Welcome to the Jungle."
Right.
Nice.
So,
and he did a good job with that, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
I think it worked out, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
So he's doing your radio promotion.
Well, he's managing us, but he's
got a team. He's got a
team. Yeah.
That's
and
great.
So we shopped to people, and they said some said no, and some didn't give the right offer. So
yeah.
His thing was, well, F them. We're gonna do this and figure out how to pay for it later. So
right, there you go.
And you can do that these days.
Yeah.
Before you had to put these long budget plans together. Now just go out there, rock and roll, and do it. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Loving it. You know, we were talking about style. I mean, Carmine's style earlier, and again, this is like a culture shock for us to see Carmine like this. But here's the thing, and I think I know what he was doing. I think he pulled back. He said, "I'm going to leave it alone for now because our guest that's coming on this week, you're going to take some notes about style because when it comes to style." There's very few like our next guest. Let's bring him on, the legendary Mr. Mark Hudson. Look at this guy.
Hey!
That's what I'm talking about.
Look at that style.
That style right
He's
there.
totally color coordinated.
I can go and do the bass.
Well, lots of
Hey, you're on, dude. Hey, dude, you're on. Hi.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, you're on, Mark.
Hey, you know what? Carmine, you look, I like the white hair.
Me too.
It's pretty cool.
But I'm putting some color. Don't bust my balls. I'm putting some color in on Tuesday.
No, but you look like Peggy Lee.
Thank you.
Yeah, John and Corey. Peggy Lee was. Oh, never mind. Anyway,
Pretty soon, Carmine will have hair like this. It's like I had oral sex with a bag of Skittles. It's a good thing.
but you know what? But I know where you got that color combination from, Mark, because it's a little known fact, probably, that you're an Italian American, and you just looked at a box of Spumoni and said, "I want that."
And I use it. Sure.
Now, how are you an Italian American from Oregon, no less?
My real name is Mario Salerno.
Come on.
I swear
Get
to God.
out of here.
But listen, I swear to God, we had to change our name because we thought the Salerno brothers should be shot out of a cannon or juggling. So we figured,
juggling.
let's just name it after a river, a car, a fruity actor. Just get it over with.
Oh, my God. I didn't know that.
Yeah, change the name. Mario Salerno, Calabrese Siciliano.
Wow.
And that
All
was
my aunts have mustaches and shit. It's horrible.
I learned a lot on this show. Last week I learned all about Rick Derringer and stuff that
Weird
was
Al.
Johnny Winter and because it was the McCoys and the McCoys were so bubblegum that they didn't want to call Johnny Winter and the McCoys, so they just called it Johnny Winter and. I never knew that. That's
Hang on,
unbelievable.
Sloopy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you talk about bubblegum, Carmine,
The Hudson brothers.
Well, I mean, I think it kind of defined that. It wasn't a bad thing. I mean, it was something that really...
You know what? You got to understand something. Pop music means popular.
Right.
And a lot of the guys that are heavy metal with big hair and padded shoulders, they got nothing. They can't dress to the left or the right. Their penises just go straight out.
I've noticed that. It's interesting.
Take notes on this
Not
show.
something I noticed, but
Thank you, Benny.
Take notes.
I'll look closer.
Yes, look a lot closer.
So that's why we thought it'd be really cool to have the new guys and the old guys together.
I'm having a blast. This is.
I've been checking on your stuff, man. You guys rock. I produced Aerosmith, so I understand the sort of...
You know a thing or a million.
Guys that can rock. You guys can fucking rock, man.
Yeah,
Well, thank you. I mean,
Well, you got a guy here who's produced everything from, I think it was like 12 albums for Aerosmith, 8 albums for Ringo Starr, did
Ozzy Osbourne.
I mean, it just goes on and on.
And even Hanson, the little before their nards drop.
Yeah, but the biggest thing you ever did was sing at my opening of my book at the cutting room.
I know.
That was your biggest gig.
I was
The
there, and I
highlight.
loved that gig.
How fun was that? How
Are you
fun was
kidding?
that?
It was a blast.
Yeah, we had Paul Schaefer come in and play keyboard on one track, and
You know, the
we had a
best
great
part
band.
the best part about doing music is that it's free. And to
Yeah.
me, I think I don't care what you like, whether it's rap, jazz, country. A good song is a good song. Even
That's true.
that fuck that did Gangnam Style, the Korean guy. I don't know what he was saying, but good for him.
Yeah, right.
Take your
Oh,
money.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
You sure your biggest
Mark,
gig? You sure your
are
biggest
you
gig? Go ahead.
Is he having an earthquake over there?
I know. You want some speedboats on some river?
I'm sort of. I'm
We're
a
in California.
I'm a
We're
handheld
cool.
kind of guy.
Yeah.
You sure your biggest gig wasn't doing background vocals for Leif Garrett?
That's
In fact,
a
that
big
was the
gig.
scary part.
Oh
That was
my
actually,
God!
No, but you know what ended up
Did you
happening?
do that?
Yeah, but you know what happened? Because
Wow.
Leif had a little trouble singing. And so
Yeah,
they
that
would-
we
they would-
know.
They would call in me and Ron Dante to come and do the I was made, and I was a studio singer. So
Which-
even when you see Joni Loves Chachi, I was Joni and my brother Brett was Chachi. We
Oh, my
were
God.
voices because we needed to make a living.
Was that pre-Archie's, Ron Dante?
Yeah, Ron Dante. Yeah. Well, it was around the same time.
Was he like a Bieber of the 70s?
He was just no. He was a studio singer.
No,
No, I
Leif,
mean-
Leif Garrett.
Leif
yeah.
Garrett, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Leif was
Big time. Big time.
Yeah.
He was on the cover of all those 16 magazines and
Yeah.
all those
wow.
Teen
those
Beat.
magazines with their.
Well, you
with,
know,
yeah,
it was
Teen
weird
Beat.
with the Hudson brothers because each one of us had like my older brother Bill, who married Goldie Hawn, as in Kate Hudson, my niece.
Oh,
My
nice.
younger brother Brett was on Tiger Beat.
Oh, wait a minute. Kate Hudson's your niece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my
wow,
younger
I didn't
brother
know
Brett was with his shirt off.
She
on
doesn't
16
tell anybody.
No, I tell everybody. Are you kidding?
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't.
I know. Well, I mean, I don't really
She
know.
She does the denying part.
Yep.
Right.
When you got the last name, how can you deny it?
True,
But
right?
it was weird because my older brother Bill was charming. He was kind of like Clint Eastwood with a guitar. Mary's Goldie. My younger brother Brett, he had his shirt off on 16 magazine. I was just talented and well endowed. And that's the end of my story.
See, back then, well endowed meant you had money.
Not that,
That's a
not
totally
that hanging
different-
straight,
No.
and not one of those hanging straight
Yeah,
real
right.
penises.
No. I go to the left.
Yeah, to the left. Yeah,
That's over. That's
real
over
men go
Sharon,
to
I
the
know.
left.
You know,
what? Rock and
See,
roll.
I never know what I'm going to learn on this show. I just learned. I never knew that. So
Yeah.
did you have to change your name legally
Yes.
to Hudson on the license
Yes.
and passport and
we
everything?
Changed it legally.
So nothing says the Italian name anymore.
Salerno.
No. It's still there. In fact, my publishing company is Salerno Songs.
God, I love that.
You can't
There
get
you-
rid of the name. It's
Ah.
just that, when you think of the Salerno brothers, shot out of a cannon or juggling.
Yeah.
Baking
It's
cookies.
like Vinny's got a peachy music.
There you go. Okay.
Mine is my first kid, my
Apathy
first three letters.
music.
Apathy
Apathy
music.
Apathy.
Do you have to
Mine-
do that when you say it, like when you're talking apice music?
Peach,
Well, that's the
peach,
Italian.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
Italian.
I wanted to ask the young sperm cells a question.
Okay.
When you guys write a song and stuff, does the
Yeah.
whole band do it, or is there like a main writer and gives it to the band? How does that work out?
Well, it generally starts with Mark, the singer, and I, but it always goes through everybody. It's not like a, hey, Corey, here's the finished song.
Right.
In
Right.
the
So in
sense
the
of
end,
like,
yeah.
in the sense of like, I'm going to tell you what to play on drums. That never happens.
So do you
So
guys?
Makes sense, man.
So as far as writing
Here-
goes,
here's
do you
the big
split the
question.
writing?
Here-
Do you
here's
split
Yeah,
the
we split
writing?
it. Yeah, we
That's
split
good,
it.
man. That's a good way to do it.
That's a good way to do it. You guys will stay together for a long time.
Yeah.
It's
You know
like
what?
they say-
At clinics,
That was the idea.
at clinics, I would say to drummers, I say, look, make sure you get involved in the writing because if you don't, the singer and the guitar player will ride around in Lamborghinis and you'll have a Volkswagen.
Absolutely. And you know what they say in Nashville? Write a word, get a third.
That is true. Yeah, we don't quite adhere to that, but
Yeah.
yeah, we have a scale for the
Yeah.
band, and
Yeah, we've done that too. It's
Yeah.
great.
That's a good thing, man, because
Very
you know
good
what?
thing.
You'd be so shocked about what can be added. I mean, so many times when I was producing Ringo Starr, he would say like
Who?
Ringo the Beatle. He would
Who?
say
Oh, Richard. Okay.
Richard, yeah.
another drummer, and he would say like he would come up like Hard Day's
Move your
Night.
hand. Move your hand. Your hand's in the way.
Oh,
No, there you go.
he would say Hard Day's Night was his title.
He
Wait,
what?
say that. What?
Hard
Come
Day's
again?
Night
Yeah.
was Ringo's title.
Oh,
Okay,
no
and-
kidding.
Like he would say stuff like, "Oh, 8 days a week."
And they would just,
Grab
but he
the
wouldn't get
song.
writing credit.
Yeah, no.
No.
See,
Side
that's
note. I recently did this. I wanted to ask you guys this, clear something up for me. I recently did this Instagram post or stories, and I was listening to just Hey Jude, and I was listening to when the drums come in, and he does that fill where he's like do 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 do, and he goes to the ride cymbal for like 2.5 beats, and then he goes back and does the fill again, and then he does that beat again, and I did this whole post about. I was like, I want to imagine that. What happened there was he realized he came in too early and just did the fill again and then did it, and they said, fuck
Probably.
it sounds great.
Probably.
But then all these other people said there's this story where he was actually on the toilet and he like was supposed to be on the intro of the song, and that's just when he came in. It was a whole oopsie, He was supposed to be in from the top of Hey Jude, and
I don't believe the
so
toilet
much of the
one.
stuff
Yeah,
that
I
they
I
don't
know
believe
the toilet one sounds ridiculous, but I had like 5 people be like, "No, man, he was on the shitter."
Let me tell you, we used to do that stuff whenever you did something, because in our day of playing, we used to play, and if you made a mistake, do it again.
Right.
So it doesn't look
Right.
like a mistake.
All right.
You know?
John Lennon actually said, "Make your mistakes louder; they'll think you did it on purpose."
Right, it saves tape, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, so much of that stuff. Half of the great thing about music is the accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
your reference, your second John Lennon reference, and obviously you've got such a history with Beatles, Ringo, Beatles, the Beatle Fest, all that stuff. But it's really something because we've heard a lot of obviously Lennonisms over the years. But it seems like your take on Lennonisms are really behind the scenes.
Well, you know what? It was weird because I actually got. They were my favorite band of the world. But who
I
was-
just saw Marco Hudson. I'm sorry, dude.
Hey.
Marco Hudson.
Mario. But it actually was weird because when I met John Lennon, my brothers and I were signed to Elton John's label. Bernie Taupin was our producer, and at Rocket Records in L.A., Lennon was there, and all the L.A. people were being groovy, going, "Oh yes, I think there's a Beatle upstairs, but they've broken up." And I went, "A Beatle!" Boom! I run upstairs, and sitting in the corner by himself was John Lennon. And I walked up to him, and I went, "John, you don't understand something. I know you're the walrus, but I want to be the walrus. I know you have Yoko. I'm dating the black girl named Coco." He thought I was crazy. So he said, "Sit down and talk to me." So I said to him, "She's well acquainted with the touch of a velvet hand like a lizard on the window pane. That's so deep." And he went, "It meant nothing." "What?" It sounded good coming off my tongue. He goes, "Ask me one Beatle question every time you see me. I'm okay. You ask me two, I'm going to punch you in the fucking head." So John Lennon actually hit me 4 times.
Okay.
Couldn't stop myself.
Did you get the answers though on that second
I got
question?
all the answers, which was
Beautiful.
great.
Well, so
Like-
you were working so early on, obviously with Bernie Taupin, and so you grew into a producer. I mean, extraordinaire times infinity kind of thing.
Thank
Was working with Bernie. I mean, how much did that affect your style of producing? Those guys.
Well, all of it did, because Bernie was a lyricist, so he was so much more about the song than he was about the sound,
Yeah.
which was interesting. But that's what he cared about. But then when I worked with Phil Ramone, it was just the opposite. He was like a sound genius, and he beat
Wall
me
of
up
sound.
for 3 years. He beat me up.
Yeah.
But
Who was the
like,
second guy you mentioned?
Phil Ramone.
like
Phil Ramone. I'm over
Billy
here
Joel.
I'm googling like crazy here.
I know.
Frank Sinatra.
That's
He's like a
great.
vocal
Yeah.
pop.
Frank who?
Yeah.
So you guys,
Easy.
John and Corey, I mean, the fortunate or unfortunate situation that you guys are in, you come into this rock and roll scene, and again, fortunately, unfortunately, maybe you guys are compared. We got a great band out there. Greta Van Fleet took the country by storm, and every time you say Greta Van Fleet, people are saying, well, they're the next Led Zeppelin, or they got a Robert Plant feel, and all that kind of comparison thing. You
Not
guys,
anymore.
Yeah, I know that.
I don't get it. I think
on
the lead
purpose.
singer, the lead singer looks like Frodo. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Dude, wait. Yeah.
Like he's living under a rock.
I'll just say this. I've been literally this week rewatching The Lord of the Rings, and
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. But you guys have been kind of, like I said, compared to a little bit of the whole GNR thing. I mean, is that something that you look as a kind of a compliment? You're like, no, man, that's not us. We're something different.
what do you think, Corey?
I think it's a compliment.
It is.
I mean,
When did Corey get here?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm petting the dog.
You know
We
what?
gotta-
There's not
we gotta
one
studio
band
dog.
that you can. There's not one band that you can name that didn't have an influence by somebody. And whether that was Michael Jackson with Jackie Wilson,
Yeah.
whether it was McCartney like Little Richard,
Mhm.
everybody has something that they dig.
Yep.
Make it a compliment, man.
Yeah.
Did you get anything? I mean, I know you worked a little bit with Slash. You opened with Slash. Was that something that affect any of your appearance, your performance style at all? Did you take any notes, that kind of a thing?
Not particularly. From we do take notes, I guess. Or
Not particularly, but he did just show up to a meeting the other day with like a classic / Axel leather jacket.
Oh yeah.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
a
had to
style
get it.
thing.
Yeah, for sure, a style thing. Me and especially our bass player Justin, myself and him are big Slash fans. We take a lot of notes, style wise and just attitude wise, from the sort of the classic period of Guns N' Roses. Our singer loves Aerosmith and Black Crowes from a style perspective a ton.
I rock normcore pretty hard.
Yeah, he's a norm. You guys know about normcore? What you know about normcore?
What is that?
What?
Well, it's like a Meshuggah.
Yeah, you're a Meshuggah fan, aren't you?
I am a
You're a
Meshuggah.
Meshuggah. Corey is a Meshuggah fan. I know that for a fact.
Yep.
Normcore is just like t-shirt and jeans, sneakers.
Oh.
Wow,
It's
I
like-
just realized that means
is it like-
AC/DC is like normcore.
That's true.
Is that like a Seattle thing? Feel?
Seattle's maybe more grungy flannel. A lot of flannel
Yeah.
involved
Yeah,
in
you
that.
got flanneling and
You know, it was interesting when I was working with Aerosmith, we went to see AC/DC, and they invited us to go backstage. And at that point, the lead singer, he only had white noise as a voice.
the
So
the
we
second
hear
one or the first one?
No, the second one.
Yeah.
Brian Jones.
Brian, yeah.
Then we hear this yelling in the other room, and it was like Fungus and Anus, the two brothers. And we walked in the other room, and they were,
Sick,
I swear to
man.
God, they were like 5'1". Like the tiniest.
No.
Yeah.
They're very short.
No, they
They
looked
are
like
really-
aerial pictures of a human. They were like tiny guys.
Oh man.
That was
And they were-
kind of
And they were
They're
kicking
killing me.
each other. But I don't mean like kung fu. I mean like.
that was kind of our experience meeting Robert Daltrey and Pete Townsend, right?
Wow.
Oh yeah,
They
Roger.
were like
yeah.
very short human beings, very
Yeah.
nice, but also couldn't hardly understand.
Well, how
anything
tall are
Roger
you
Daltrey.
guys? How tall are you guys then?
Speaking of that.
Is my other mic not working? Oh,
Yeah,
That's
no,
fine.
that's good.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
working.
Both mics work.
No, how
Working?
tall are you guys? If Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey were
I'm
short?
5'9", 5'10".
Well, Roger Daltrey isn't that short.
He's like
Well,
5'4",
Unless they're
probably.
maybe they're shrinking.
And
No,
you know what?
Daltrey is a little. I've met him and I practically look at him straight in the eye, which is really really cool for me. But Townsend's taller.
Yeah.
Townsend's
Yeah, he
taller.
is.
Yes.
And you know,
He's
you
very
look at-
much taller.
If you look
Yeah.
at Greta Van Stench, the lead singer has real big feet. So he looks like the letter L. Typical thing. I'm
What
sorry,
the
I'm really-
heck's going
I'm
on?
really-
here?
Hey, I
Yo,
hope-
we
hey,
haven't met him in person yet. So.
We're friends with those guys, especially the drummer. I hope they're not watching now.
No, listen. I don't look at if they're successful, good for them.
Yeah.
They're doing great.
You know,
yeah.
good
They're
for
doing
them.
great, and they have a loyal fan base that is
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure following them on their journey, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm friends with Jason Flom, who I think discovered them. You know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I went and saw him.
I saw him.
Does that count?
It counts for something.
I went backstage with Kodiak, and they met Kodiak and all that stuff. And Mark just gave some songs to Kodiak
Yeah,
to do. They're going to do 2 of them, by the way.
great man.
Yeah.
Mark, so you're a producer extraordinary. We've covered that. You got a band that's coming up, and I'm sure you get. I mean, you're one of those guys that every time you go into an elevator, someone's trying to pitch you a song or pitch you a band. You're
Yeah.
standing at a urinal, they're trying to pitch you something. I don't know what that is, but
Right.
what do you? But I also see that you are working with some new bands, with some new situations. What do you look for? What makes you say, you know what, this band's got it? What
You
is
know what it really comes down to, and Phil Ramone, the famous producer that taught me, he said it's 3 things. The song must be first, singer second, and band third. Because you really can't name a musician that can't be replaced. Maybe an odd Jimi Hendrix or whatever, or the Appice Brothers.
Yeah,
But for the
thank
most
you.
part, they can work to say, try to write a song. And I know some of the most incredible musicians in the world, and
Can't
they
write a
cannot
song.
write a song.
Right.
So I always look for the song first.
By the way, right now, Ron, we have to do our commercial.
Just texting Ben on that. So we got a big show next week. Every week, our brothers here do this commercial. Last one was pretty interesting with Vinny on the cycle, almost dying. So let's see what we got this week to talk about next week.
I think you got me. Hey, it's Carmen Apiece here for Hangin' and Bangin'. On May 6th, we have Katie Darrell from Access TV. She's a host on Access TV. That'll be fun. Also on the same show, Cherie Curry from The Runaways, an old friend of mine. I've known her for a long time. So it's going to be a lot of fun, that show. May 6th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Otto on Lockdown, Hangin' and Bangin', Carmine and Vinny Apiece, or Apathy. And also on YouTube, look up Carmine and Vinny Apiece or Apathy, Hangin' and Bangin'. See you there. May 6th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. See ya.
All right, so I just want to say that was one of the most riveting performances I have seen in a long time.
Did you see me?
It made John leave. John just said, "Screw this, I'm leaving."
It was a good performance.
What kind of car was that, Vinny? Or Carmine? Sorry.
That was Maserati.
Yeah.
Well, he was valeting at the time. He works on the country club.
That's a quality comic. That's quality comic work right there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I tell you, Ron's getting good at this stuff, man. He's learning from Vinny.
I am. Let me tell you something. Vinny Appice is one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. I'm not blowing smoke up his skirt, but I'm just saying he's got the driest, and he'll sit there like that, like he's an intellectual type, because we know he's not. But all of a sudden, it comes out.
Yep.
Did you see me in the back seat?
Well, you only got 30 minutes left, Vinny. Let's go.
Did you see me in the back seat of the Maserati?
Hey, you missed him.
I didn't see it.
He was making faces.
I was in the back and
Were you really? You are not.
wouldn't let me sit in the front.
Wouldn't even let you sit in view.
Yeah.
He's still treating him like once a little brother, always a little brother. That's the deal.
Well, you know, the thing is, our people
Wouldn't let me
text
drive it
Vinny.
either.
Yeah, he's never been here yet.
I know.
He won't come to Florida. He's afraid of our dog.
Oh my gosh.
Vicious hound of the Baskervilles.
Mark.
Boom.
Mark, there's something that I saw was really, really cool. Can you talk a little bit about the 2005 Tears of Heaven thing that you produced? It was just like amazing combination of performers.
Yeah, I was in England doing the X Factor with Sharon Osbourne when the tsunami hit, and she said we have to get some people to do a song. So I got permission to do Tears in Heaven from Clapton and rewrite a bridge, and then I just got on the phone and called everybody that I knew. Elton John did it because of Sharon.
Bernie.
Rod Stewart came and did it. Gwen Stefani, she was married to that guy in Shrub. What was the band?
Yeah.
Shrub?
No,
Bush.
it was
Bush.
Oh, Bush.
And
Bush,
and everybody,
Okay.
everybody and their mother was doing this. I got Steven to do it, Pink, and they're all.
Wait, Vinny, I didn't get a call. Did you?
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I called Vinny.
Zinger.
They didn't want
But
anybody.
didn't Bocelli play on it too?
No, it was all. The track was cut by Gums and Noses.
Okay.
Slash, Duff.
Was Bocelli on that too?
Yes. And the weird thing about Bocelli, because some of the stuff I was like calling in, and this guy calls me up and goes, "Hello, Marco. This is Armando with Bocelli. He's ready to sing the fucking song." I think that's great, but I'm not ready for him yet because he doesn't come into the bridge. Okay, Marco, I understand. Click. 20 minutes later, hello, Marco, Armando. Marcello is ready to sing the fucking song.
He couldn't find the phone.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready for him yet. And then finally, when he did, he was incredible, and it was great. But dealing with as soon as you got to deal with managers and agents, that screws up everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Vin? If you can just talk to the act, they really want to be involved.
Absolutely.
But as soon as you
Yeah.
get Shecky and Murray and Oi Gefelter,
The Shecky.
those guys change it all, man.
Yeah.
If they just left it up to us doing the music, I mean, it was an honor for me to
We
do that
just have
because
a
there were so
blast,
many
but
great.
we
That was great. That sounds great.
Oh, you guys got to see it. It's tremendous,
Thank you.
and the Tears of Heaven. I mean, it just sets the mood. It sets the tone. Just
Yeah.
by calling it that.
No, I know, and it made a lot of money, which was good.
Yeah.
I mean, half of the thing is, every song I've ever written, I've written for free, and the fact that it becomes, it's like, I'll give you a perfect example. I wrote a song with Carole King for Aerosmith, and Steven heard it and started to cry. Yeah, it's fucking great, yeah. And he said, this is great. Joe Perry hated it, so it got thrown off the record. Now, at that point, they were selling roughly around 13 million albums a shot. But I thought, well, there goes another song out the window. Then 3 months later, I get a phone call going, Mark, Celine Dion just cut your song.
Wow.
And all I knew was she was a thin Quebecian that hits her chest. I knew she was big, but I didn't buy any of her stuff. George Martin said it sounded so Beatley that he asked to produce it. So he produced the record.
Wow.
It ended up selling 24 million copies. It paid for my divorce, my penis extension. It paid for like a million other things.
What song was it?
It's called The Reason. It was on the
yeah.
Titanic record.
Yeah.
The Reason.
You are the reason I wake up. If you
She-
hear
How
it,
much
She is
was the
literally
penis
amazing.
extension?
I kind of like.
no,
That's my guilty pleasure. I can actually listen to Celine Dion. Not all the way through. I can't adult contemporary myself for too long. But she.
Right.
But she is unbelievable. Like.
no, she can sing. Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
because there was one of the lyrics. I was thinking Aerosmith. It said, "I'm going down because I adore you. I want to floor you." And Carole King went, no flooring. Hudson, you're a walking hump. She's not going to go for that. And I said, I'm being metaphoric. Like, I want to floor you by my behavior. You're floored by my behavior. Or, bada bing, the other two. Take your pick. It's metaphoric. Celine Dion.
That was a little Charlie Callis there for you
Callis.
for you people out there.
When we ended up meeting with Celine Dion, she walked up and real cute. She went, my favorite part? I want to floor you. It was her favorite line. And then I said to Carol, I said, Carol, don't fuck with the king. She went, I'm the king, you're the
That's
queen.
right. That's right. But was that if Aerosmith didn't accept it, was that before or after you wrote "Living on the Edge" for them?
It was after. It was actually on.
So you write "Living on the Edge" for Aerosmith. Wouldn't they take anything if you burped? They'd say, "Okay, we'll record
right,
that."
But remember, they're a band, and like you guys must know, when you're a band, everyone has sort of an opinion of what we should do. You talk it through. And Steven loved it. I think Glenn Ballard was producing at the time, who wrote "Man in the Mirror," who produced the Alanis Morissette record, and he loved it. Steven loved it, and Joe Perry just said, "I don't get it." So I watched it go out the window.
But it's okay. You did 24 million.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's a failure that turned itself around.
I'll
And
use
now
that
because-
example for when Mark loves a song and I hate it.
Right. See, you got
Hey,
practical
dude,
examples here.
Yeah, because you got to be able to get through that. I mean, obviously, as an outside songwriter, I was devastated.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a
Aerosmith,
sudden, they were selling 13 million. Celine Dion sells 24. My divorce, my penis extension. I became a tripod after that.
So you got all these legends and all these amazing, we're talking historic guys, John and Corey. I mean, you're talking rock and roll history thing here. When I saw a great video, you guys at the Viper Room, and
Lockdown Live.
Lockdown Live was just fabulous, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Thank you.
But you obviously, I'm sure they told you, of the history, of the Viper Room, not only inside the Viper Room, but on the sidewalk outside. I mean, all of that stuff about the Viper Room. Yeah. Did you feel anything? Do you feel you appreciated that history? Any of that connection to the Viper Room when you played it?
Not particularly, but I will say that
that was a big buildup of a question for that.
That was a good question.
Nope.
In that area though, in Hollywood, there's the Viper Room, there's the Whiskey, and all those kinds of places. And I will say that playing at those types of places, for me, I grew up a huge Van Halen fan. My dad showed me all that stuff when I was really young, and so they had that one video. I can't think of the name of the song right now, but it was Sammy era, and they're doing the live show at the Whiskey, and the music video is like them there, and it shows the crowd. So being in that area and playing at a venue like that, it's kind of it's like, oh shit, I'm at this place where Van Halen once was, or whatever, or near there.
Yeah, for sure, that's cool.
Well, I'm glad, because there's so much of that history and that legacy, those legacies there that kind of ooze out, and we'd love to have it's nice to see the next generation of rockers really like taking it in and feeling it. And I've talked to guys that have been on this show and some other guys just in my own world here that I ask them about that kind of thing, because they say that music, so much of music is, and Mark, you could speak to this, but so much of music comes from within. It comes from your feelings, your soul, all that juicy, gutsy stuff sometimes. And sometimes it's not. You just stub your toe and you write a song about it. But we'd like to think that some of the history and all the history that you experience has something to do with your songwriting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would add actually to stay on the Viper Room thing for a second. The reason it wasn't so nostalgic or whatever for me, I think, is because my first experiences there was playing a snare drum case as a bass drum and brushes on a snare for some singer-songwriter in that bottom room that smells like fish.
The little one.
Oh,
How
God.
they call that the fish room.
And then they even had a problem with me using such a tiny little kit, because they were like, this is an acoustic show, you can't have a drum set. I'm like, this isn't a drum set. This is
It's a
You
drum
see a kid
case.
here?
So
Drum.
I'm playing a beer box.
it's a drum and the case that I carried the drum in, and you have a problem.
It's a good idea, using the case as the
Heck
bass
yeah.
drum.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it worked out. I
Corey's
mean,
Corey's
for
pretty
that.
innovative.
The scary part of it is, as soon as it's usually not the musicians that are the problem. It's some guy that thinks he's running the place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Becomes
Some musician that didn't make it, and he's pissed off at the world because of it.
Absolutely.
Actually, it was really funny. The guy who did sound at the Viper Room, cool dude. Shout out to his name's Dish. He's a sort of ex-pro drummer, but he was like, he really played for real acts. And I was like, who did you play for, man? And the most hilarious answer ever. He was like, I was the 3rd, 7th, and also 11th drummer for Candlebox.
Yeah, right.
He's like, he toured with Pretty Boy Floyd and some other dudes,
Yes.
of that.
The Hoobastank.
Yeah, and some of those '90s things
Yeah.
that went along with that. But that was the funniest answer I ever heard.
Yeah.
He's
That's
like,
a
I'm
good
serious. They called me back 3 times after between 4 guys.
Mark, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on the Hudson brothers thing, because there's so much more about you, obviously. But I loved it. Okay, was that an original?
Yeah.
Was that an actual lyric, or was that thrown in?
No.
And so you're a star.
No, I did it. I wrote that song when my brother Bill started dating Goldie. So it was "So You Are a Star, and Nobody Knows You Like I Do."
Oh, so it's like, okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I
Nobody
thought it was something you
knows
threw
you
in.
like I do. And it was extremely Beatle-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, when I did a solo album, Ringo played drums on it. So it kind of came full circle for me that he played drums. And you know what? I've never heard a drummer play a song like Ringo Starr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows what to do and when to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty
well,
amazing.
We always said Ringo's the first drummer that I knew of that when he first came out, I wasn't really into him. I was into R&B and stuff, but later on I got to appreciate the fact that he made up drum parts.
Yeah,
He
drum
didn't just
parts.
play time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he
But
didn't
also,
play,
he was also left-handed. So he played
Really?
a right-handed kit, left-handed. So he'd always lead, because I was a drummer too in the Hudson
Yeah.
Brothers. He would always lead with his left hand.
right.
So his
Wow.
drum fills took on a whole nother vibe.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. They were very melodic, and they're bouncy and melodic drum fills.
He knew when not to. He said,
And-
I'd wait for them to shut up, then I'd do a drum fill.
Yeah.
Well, the whole TV thing,
That's
the
the
whole
best
TV
way of
that you guys were doing. I mean, we were talking about pop culture before, and you see that you were appearing with Captain Kangaroo, and then you
Yeah.
appear on the Love Boat, and then all the way full circle to Family Guy. I
Yeah.
mean, pop culture
that
from
show.
beginning to start.
Well,
Beginning
you know
to
what the
end.
weird thing was? The fact that we were on TV actually destroyed our musical career because
yeah.
we started out as like a rock band, and we were
Right.
kicking ass. And oh, what am I doing? Did I just lose something? Yeah, we're doing
No,
some
you're
great
good.
shit. And then when television came along, everyone was getting busted. The Monkees
Yeah.
weren't real. The Partridge
Yeah.
Family wasn't real. So they went, "Oh, who are those funny guys?" But we were the other way around. They straightened our hair, they stuffed our pants, and we became like a television band. And it virtually took the music and didn't make it serious because
But
they
did
thought
people think that? But you guys were you accused somewhat of not being a real band, just like the Monkees, just like
no,
Partridge?
we weren't, because when you saw us on the Johnny Carson show, we
Mhm.
kicked ass because we could sing, we could harmonize beyond the Bee Gees. I got my own Robert Plant, Steven Tyler. I could scream. Carmine, you heard me do it. It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But then television.
I remember you told me the story. He said they offered him so much money at the time that you couldn't refuse it.
Couldn't say no.
Couldn't say no.
Well, how did you get onto the? I mean, it was obviously, I believe it was Sonny and Cher that broke you, right?
Yeah.
How did you get onto this? Because you wound up actually being the summer replacement show.
Yeah, we were like regulars on the show from time to time. What ended up happening, we were at a party in Hollywood, and it's when Led Zeppelin tried to set Elton John on fire. We were at this party, and we were sitting there, and this guy sat down, started talking to us, and he found out we were brothers. And we were cocky, and we were funny, and we were much better looking than I am now. And he thought, wow, that's great. And in walked Elton John in a pink satin suit with a satin afro wig. And we all said hello because we were signed to his label. Hi, Elton. And he goes into the other room. And then Led Zeppelin walks in. And they just reeked of coolness. All of them walked in, went to the bar, took a drink. They leaned over and they saw Elton in the dining room. And Bonham said, "Hey, look, there's the poof. Let's set him on fire." And they took out their lighters and lit their lighters and started walking towards Elton.
Wow.
And he went like, ah! And he ran. They chased him. He jumped into the pool. And I'm thinking, wow, this is what rock and roll was like. Then the guy said, "I think you guys are funny. Come to CBS and do a screen test." We went there. They liked it. Boom. The next thing you know, there we were. It took us 8 years to get there, but they thought it was overnight. But
Nice.
kind of destroyed the musical career because television wasn't ready. It was pre-MTV.
Yeah.
So virtually it's like, oh, those TV guys, as opposed to, well, they're a rock band that can really play. So
Right.
it screwed it up. But you live with it. I made up for it later on when I started songwriting for other people. So.
Yeah.
And now, my God, if I could be a proud father for a second. My daughter, Sarah, he wrote Dark Horse for Katy Perry.
Yep.
And just the Grammy for Dua Lipa, Levitating.
Wow.
That's my kid.
That's
my
awesome,
daughter.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's writing.
Congrats.
I wrote her an email and said, "Sarah, please keep writing hits. Pretty soon Dad's going to be in a diaper. I'm going to need him in the house." She can start taking care of me. But now they're all doing her music, and it's pretty unbelievable.
That's
It
good.
But
couldn't be more
she's
proud.
she was, I mean, definitely one of the most one of the most popular up and coming performers, and it was really cool to see her come into her writing chops age with Katie. I mean, amazing.
Right. Well, you know what it was? Because when she had her record deal, it was a real good record. And I got all my, Steven sang background, Ozzy sang back. I did as much dad stuff as I could do.
That's cool.
But the day the record came out, the president of the label quit to become the head of Columbia Records, and everything went to hell. So she was devastated. I tried to say to her, "Sarah, this business is really tough. You're going to hear no so much, you'll think you're married. It's just not right." And she goes, "Dad, I got to do this." And I begged her not to, but she did. And then after about 6 years of her busting her ass, it paid off. Now she's Dua and Lipa, Nicki Minaj, Justin Bieber. I mean, I don't know anything about that music, so I'm really out of the loop.
Yeah.
Good for her, man.
I tell you,
That's
it's
awesome.
really something. Maybe, she could do a little collaboration with Dirty Honey.
Hey, she's working with this kid now called Kid Blood, some English punk guy, and he's ever so he's a fuck that. Like I'm talking Sid Vicious, and so she wants to spread herself out, so she's not just doing a style.
Right.
She says, and one thing that I taught her: write a good song, and I don't care. Ozzy's done my songs. Hanson has done my songs. Jars of Clay, the Refried Christians. A whole bunch of people have done my music. Write a good song. Let them worry about how to ruin it.
You guys work with Madam Mayhem, haven't you?
I did.
Did you guys write together, or was it performance?
No, I produced her first record.
Oh, really?
And she was sort of like, always wanted to be really heavy. And at that point, the heavy rock stuff wasn't flavor of the week. But she wanted to stay true to it. And I could not think better that she was being true to her art.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's really cool. And rare.
Yeah,
that's rare.
cool.
It is rare. And
That's
you know
rare.
what? If you're wrong, go wrong big. If you're right, God bless you.
It's like if you make a mistake, play it louder, right, Carm?
Absolutely.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Do it again and repeat it.
Yep.
And repeat it. John and Corey, the music style today, obviously, so much of it is
Crap.
Well, it's manufactured. It's another genre. That's all being done as opposed to straight guitar licks and banging on the drums. That kind of a thing. Do you find it? How much of that is part of your world? And if it's not a big part of your world, how are you? I don't know what the word is, like battling that strong influence that's out there, because maybe you're thinking, we got to be more relevant to today's music. We got to add all this kind of stuff that's manufactured. How are you battling that?
We just don't think that way, and we just keep I keep a heavy dose of music that came out from like '67 to like '92.
Oh, that's crap music.
That's a stretch.
That's good
Really,
music.
my favorite's like Really, my favorite's like favorite. Like the Red Hot for me is like the Nixon years plus a year on either side or two.
Wow.
Like 67 to 76.
70,
And
yeah.
that's just from
That's me. That's me.
Yeah, and that's just from raiding my mom's record collection.
Yeah.
And just being like, that's just who I happen to be at
Yeah, you know what? And you don't have to be anybody else.
And
You know,
that's how we feel lucky that there's a lane for us to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because we're doing us.
Shakespeare said to that and true.
Uh-oh.
Be who you are. This is what I look like. My pajamas are this fucked up. If you don't like this, don't look at it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to hear the songs, don't listen. But be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Stay that way, you guys, and it's going to work. I'm telling you.
Well, I appreciate
Well, to
it.
say that you guys, to say that there's a lane for you guys, that's a big deal, because anybody today would think about today's music, and to say that there's a lane for real rock and rollers, old school style rock and rollers as far from a structure standpoint, you almost would think that doesn't exist. So I could say on behalf of us four and everybody out there, we're happy that you guys are going down that lane, because most music today is on a laptop and that's it.
Yeah,
but if
we're
you're
in
looking
the program
at Greta
era.
Van Stench, and then you're looking at Foo Fighters, there are guys that are playing guitars, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Jack White, there are guys that are doing it.
Yeah.
You just got to find someone to believe in it. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just featured in this month's Guitar World, actually.
Awesome.
And the article is about, it's called The New Wave of Classic Rock, which our manager says never say about ourselves, but there's a cool little corral of acts that are that it features.
Doing
it's really
that.
cool.
Doing
And
that.
obviously Greta Van Fleet was in there too and stuff, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
really
what
cool.
that's what Kodiak does. Kodiak does Van Halen.
Okay.
They're like a new Van Halen kind of thing. And
What do you mean they
Yeah.
do Van Halen? Is it like the style?
The style, Van Halen
Wow.
style, with the guitar, the way Eddie played in the old days, and good trio of a band and a lead singer. The singer sounds more like maybe Def Leppard.
Yeah.
So sort of like Def Leppard with Van Halen.
Yeah, that's a good assessment. That's what when I heard their stuff.
I have a question for the brothers.
Yeah.
It's probably annoying, but because I don't like this question either. But I'm going to do it for you. Do each of you have a record that you've done? I know you've done so many, but do you have a record that is the most special to you that you've done?
Holy Diver.
Yeah, that's a good one. I have it right here in my vinyl collection.
Well, that's easy for Vinny because he hasn't done as many as me.
But
Don't
I've done
start.
more important records than his.
Don't make me turn this podcast around.
Quality, not quantity.
I don't know. You know, for me, I don't know because I love the Blue Murder record. I love the BBA record. I love the record with Rod Stewart. I love Cactus.
It could be even just like a personal
Vanilla Fudge.
memory.
I mean, the funniest memory I have is when we recorded "You Keep Me Hanging On." It was recorded in a one-take mono with vocals and everything all at once. And if you listen to the one part of the organ where it's the organ by itself, one of my sticks dropped off my bass drum because we didn't have stick bags in those days. You had the two sticks were laid on the bass drum, and one of them, the extra pair of sticks, one of them fell off the bass drum, and you could actually hear it fall to the floor. Right?
I love
That's so cool.
And I always say that song was 7.5 minutes long that changed my life.
Did you play the whole thing? We got to fell off.
We got to reiterate.
When you played live, did you do the stick falling off live too?
That's a good question.
Yeah, you got to do it again.
Actually,
did the stick fall louder the second time?
No,
I never knew that, and I know what part he's talking about. I listened to that as a kid, you know.
Yeah.
When that came
wow.
out.
And you heard that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard it too.
I didn't know what it was.
And the other thing which is great about it, at the end, Tim Bogert bangs his bass like with his hand. And he was one of the first guys to play like boom, 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 you know, and it sounded like double bass drums. So everybody thought it was my bass drum doing that.
Oh wow!
And it wasn't. It was Tim's bass. You know.
Was it the fact that it was like the the tape analog era, like the way tape costs money?
Oh, totally.
Was that why those things happened? It was like, hey.
Yeah, because you're doing like, and that was a demo we did. It was just a demo.
And I screwed up.
Shadow Morton, the producer, and we went in there and we just went and set up. We've been playing the thing live forever, and every time we played that song, the people would stop what they were doing and walk up to the front of the stage and watch us play it because we were so dramatic in our approach and showmanship and all that. And so we just went in and did a demo, you know. And
but the biggest song that you've done, one take, mono, everything. I mean, we've done other songs over our career that we did one take, but then you had to put the vocals on, you know. But this was done everything at one time. It was
we did some on Holy Diver. We did half a take.
Hey guys, check this out. I'm actually in a session. And
what are you doing?
I'm in a session. There goes Paul Santo from Aerosmith, Earl Slick,
hey dudes. Oh, hi guys.
Steve Hawley from Wings, the top of Mario McNulty's head, Jeff Matthews. We're in the studio, and this is where we all should be.
Yeah.
Making a record is.
Hey, I'm in my studio.
Hey, just send us the address so we can come over.
Yeah,
me too. I'm in New York though, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll just quick fly over.
Well, all you guys, I tell you what, this was a great show because you got, you know, in all the good ways, the old and the new mashing up together.
That's why we did this. When we were going to put Dirty Honey on, so let's put them on with Mark.
It's good,
because it'll be like the old and the new, you know.
Yeah, but I also understand. I understand you guys, and I think what you're doing is great. And don't let anyone tell you to do anything different.
Yeah,
well, I appreciate it very much.
I mean, really, just keep doing it, and it's all going to work itself out.
Yeah,
and it's just going to take one Mama Luke to go. That band is great, and then when that happens, boom, you'll take off, and then you'll be like Greta Van Stench, and we won't do the show anymore.
Yeah,
that's right, guys. Don't ever change, and if you do, don't forget where you parked your car. Anyway, you guys, listen, it's been a great show. Thank you so much, the legendary Mark Hudson.
Peace,
Thank you for being with us.
Thanks, Vinny.
John Otto,
Thank you,
Corey
guys.
Coverstone.
I'll talk to you,
Pleasure to
Mark.
meet all you guys.
Okay.
Corey Coverstone, thanks for being with us. Dirty Honey, another great week of hanging and banging, artists on lockdown. Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Our Facebook pages, our YouTube channel. You hear us on iHeartRadio. We're going nuts on this show. Artists on Lockdown, hanging and banging every Thursday night with the Peace Brothers and myself, Ron Onesti. We'll see you next week right here on Hanging and Banging. Have a great week, guys.